Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to a movie review right here on YouTube. Right here on YouTube. Well, I'm sure you know you're on YouTube. Right here on the Brad Tragic channel. Um, and today we're going to be talking about. This is going to be kind of a weird one because I may end up putting these on both channels, but they'll probably be different ways I'm going to shoot because this is a movie review. But I'll probably redo another video probably later on. I'll talk about this documentary again. Ain't like I'm gonna forget it because I love the movie to death. So this is for the Brad Tragic channel. But if you're a wrestling fan and if you've already went over and subscribed to Breakdown, if you haven't, I have a wrestling related channel called Breakdown. That's all wrestling and all the wrestling stuff's basically going to be moving over to that channel. So if you're a big pro wrestling fan, if you subscribe to the channel, definitely go over and check out Breakdown. It's going to be awesome. There's a lot of content over there. There's a decent amount of content from a couple years ago, where I was talking about everything going on at that WrestleMania. I believe is when I really dropped it. And there's a few reviews that were on the network, and that are still on the network, so you can check out some of those reviews of some of the older content that I put up. And there's more content to come. Some reviews of random pay-per-views are going to be popping up soon over there, so definitely go over there and subscribe. But today we're going to be talking about the resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts. If you haven't checked out this movie, it's on Netflix right now. Go check it out. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, you might actually enjoy this if you like inspirational stories and you understand kind of what pro wrestling is. It's a business that you get into, that you have a passion for, that you put everything into the business. You learn how to cut promos, you learn how to use your body in ways that the fans will that you can tell a story to the fans. I think that's what people don't understand about pro wrestling. They want to paint this negative light on it. It's something that's been around for so long, and guys love to go out there and do it. And now women are getting hugely into it. Um, a lot of women got into it a long time ago, and I've always been into it, but now I think like people are more athletic now, and it's getting really, really good right now in the WWE. We're seeing a lot of women that are great wrestlers, like almost better than most of the guys, and that's what's really surprising to me, that we're actually going to have um, a women's division that almost matches up to the guys. And I think that it's come a long way in equality in pro wrestling, honestly. Um, that at some point, we actually may see the women's division headline a pay per view in the WWE because the guy talent's it's there, but they don't want to push it properly. And it's probably going to end up having women headline the pay per view at some point in the near future. Anyways, Jake the Snake Roberts telling you all his passion, the story of pro wrestlers, and really what they do. This story starts out talking about Jake the Snake Roberts. And they do talk about Scott Hall somewhat, but it's mostly about Jake the Snake Roberts. I think they just do it kind of as a break in the movie, telling you about that. And outside this movie, I wanted to let people know that there's still people that are being helped by DDP that I kind of hope they make another documentary just about DDP Yoga and what he's done for other pro wrestlers, because I know other pro wrestlers that are not in the business currently, or was in the business and don't want to go back to the business and want nothing to do with the WWE, has done this DDP Yoga and is getting help by it, being able to be a person again and being helped out of kind of like the crippling state that wrestling has put them into. But there's a difference between some people who want to say thank you and go back for the fans at least. Um, and I think Jake wanted to continue to wrestle, and I think he still goes and wrestles at local events right now, which is really cool. Um, I don't think he does it as much, but I think he still goes out there and does a few, because I know he wanted to wrestle at Wrestle in the Rumble, but I don't know if that'll happen now. But it starts, having him go to his house and seeing how bad he was. Like, he was really overweight and could barely move. I mean, his hip and everything was really bad. He ended up having a couple operations, and then was able to actually do the DDP yoga, and had tremendous results with losing weight and looking great. And started actually working out as well as doing DDP yoga, and definitely like got 10 times better than what he currently was in when DDP talked to him. And I didn't really notice when I watched the documentary that Jake the Snake actually got DDP into the WWE. I believe that's how it worked. I could be wrong with that. But then he worked for WCW and so forth. And I will be doing a video dedicated to DDP on the Breakdown channel. He does it a lot. I like DDP a lot as a wrestler as well. And it seems like he's a very genuine person. And I think they kind of talk about that a little bit in the video, how genuine DDP is and how he likes to help his fellow wrestlers. And Kevin Nash talks about him, and Scott Hall and things like that. But this movie, in this documentary, it's so moving. I cried at like 3 different points in the movie. That's how sad it is. It's a very moving documentary. If you really love pro wrestling, this is going to hit you more, I think, than maybe not being a wrestling fan. But being a wrestling fan, it will hit you more because you'll see Scott Hall, and you'll see Jake the Snake Roberts in their rawest forms, and it was really just depressing and kind of sad, and it'll have you crying when they feel good about themselves and making comments. And you see Jake the Snake like continue to rebound from going and having a drink, and you have them confront him, and that he lies and everything. It's so good of a documentary that if you haven't checked this out, and you knew what happened to Scott Hall and you knew what happened to Jake Roberts, you have to go check this documentary out. It's so awesome. It will have you crying like a little boy. It will have you crying because it is so moving and emotional. It's so good. I don't think that I've seen a movie like this since I first seen Beyond the Mat. This movie is definitely worth seeing. If you like Beyond the Mat, this was just like that. It has you captivated all the way through. Near the end, you kind of go, how long is this thing going to go on? Because there is it gets kind of dragging at the end. And it's not that it's boring. Well, I mean, no, not really. It's just that they talked about the topic for so long. You're like, how long is this thing going to go on for? But right when you think that, something else happens, and it gets you interested back into the movie again. So I believe that's when he talks about getting the call from Vincent, or talking to Vince McMahon and talking to Triple H and everything like that. So pretty interesting. I like the movie. I definitely give the movie like an A minus. Well, probably a B plus, and that's only because the rewatchability factor is I don't know how many times I'm going to rewatch this documentary. I may watch it again probably in about a year or so or less, but probably like once a year kind of rewatchability factor. If you're really wanting to watch it, and I don't know how many times I'm going to really want to rewatch the movie. Oh God, I hate yawning, especially in videos. But with that being said, that's why I give the rating. Really good movie overall. If I wasn't going to rate it on a rewatchability factor, I probably would give it an A minus. So definitely, the movie's really, really good. And that's all I got to say about that. So if you haven't checked out the reservation, I don't even know if that's a word. Is that a word? Resurrection? No idea. But the resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts is a good movie. Definitely check it out. Come back. Let me know what you think about it. If you've already seen it, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it. Awesome movie. Heck of a documentary, I tell you right now. As always, like, comment, and share. And share the movie. If you're on somewhere and you're watching it, share the movie. Let people know about this movie because this is really, really awesome. It's on Netflix currently, I believe. Along with me doing this video, it was on there. Stop it. Get it out of there. Alright, Jesus. And as always, keep rocking.